When's the last time that you used Redbox? It's probably been years now since the last time that you used a Redbox. I didn't even realize that they were still at Kroger. They are. I saw a lady at Kroger getting herself a movie. It's like, man, do they even have new releases on there anymore? Because if I'm Redbox, I am not investing on spending money on new movies, because you gotta get DVDs and you still gotta get Blu-rays because, not everybody has the cool latest technology. That's why streaming services are kind of nice. You didn't have to go out and spend thousands of dollars for a good Blu-ray player. And that's why some people actually have PlayStations, because they're like, you know what? It could double as a Blu-ray player. But I saw this lady at Kroger getting herself a movie to watch. She was probably going to go home and be the little spoon with her partner. Or, maybe she was going to be the big spoon. I shouldn't jump to conclusions there. But she was probably going to have herself a couple of cocktails and probably only watch about 15 minutes of that movie. You know how it works whenever you watch a movie with your partner. Watch a few minutes and, especially if you're on the couch cuddling a little bit. That movie you're not going to watch all the way through the first time. It might take you a couple of times, but make sure you get it back so you don't get hit with any sort of late fees from Redbox. I was trying to think the last time Nora and I rented a movie from Redbox. And it was when we were in Little Rock. I do know that. What movie it was? No idea. We had to run to Kroger late at night to go get a couple of food items for the next morning. We're going to make biscuits and gravy. And it just turned into us getting some candy from the store as well. And like, hey, let's get a Redbox movie. Let's see what it is. I'm trying to think as hard as I can right now what movie it was. Probably wasn't that good if I don't remember. It was such a good idea. Like, I thought Redbox was a great idea. But now it's basically Blockbuster. That thing is about to go extinct. Why they're still out at grocery stores, I have no idea. But if they're still out there, they still have to be making decent money. Because a business isn't going to keep operating without making good money. But just think about how many streaming services you have now. Whether they're exactly yours or they're someone else's, your password sharing, that's A-okay. There's so many damn freaking streaming services out there that there's no way you can afford to have all of them out there unless you're super rich. And even at that time, it becomes very expensive to have all of those streaming services. I think Nora and I truly only pay for one of them. We pay for Peacock. I need that for WWE. But we have Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus through our Verizon account. So we have all of those. And between Disney, Netflix, we're able to find a movie. If it's a brand new movie, I guess we got to go to a theater, but there's not a new movie out that I really want to see. Nora may want to see Top Gun Maverick because she finally was able to see Top Gun, the original one, when her parents were in town. They made her watch it because they agreed. They're like, hey, if you're going to see this movie, you at least have to watch the first one. And from my understanding, you don't need to see the first one in order to make Maverick even work for you. It's just like a standalone thing. There are references from what I gather. But I don't know if I want to go see a movie in theater again like that. Like, to me, the whole way that you consume movies, whether it be from back in the day going to Blockbuster, to going to Redbox, to going to movie theaters, like all that stuff just seems incredibly outdated to me. It's like, just give it to me straight. Let me get it on HBO Max. Let me get it on whatever other services have new movies. I think Paramount Plus, Paramount releases their movies on there. I think it's a fantastic idea. Even if you have to pay Disney, because I know Disney was doing this for a while during the pandemic. It was like $30 and you can rent it for like 2 days. And I thought that was a great idea. Because if you go to a movie theater Just 2 people, you figure is going to be about $20 just for your tickets. And when you go to a movie theater, you are getting popcorn. There's not a human soul that goes to a movie theater and doesn't get popcorn. Now, candy, on the other hand, you might get candy as well. But let's be honest, you're sneaking that shit in. You're going to the Dollar Tree beforehand and getting all that candy and bringing it in. Your Swedish Fish, your Nerds, whatever sort of candy that you like at the movies. I've been on a huge Swedish Fish kick lately. They're so good. Very underrated snack there, I think, at least. But, I mean, you're going to be spending a lot of money when you go to the movie theater. I'm guessing more than $30 just for 2 people. And if you have a family of 4, that's going to be even more expensive. Because then the kids are going to want the ices, which I loved a good icy back in the day. Now I think it would be way too sweet for me to get one of those. But then you got to get candy for all those little kids because you know how kids are. And I was the same way. Going to a movie theater and trying to sneak snacks in, that was lame. Like you wanted to get the full experience by getting the candy and everything there. You didn't want to look cheap. I don't know, for whatever reason. As a kid, you never wanted to look cheap, but who in the hell cares? Parents are trying to save money. Now I look back on that and I'm like, man, I wish I wasn't such a jerk. And we didn't go to the movies all that much when I was a kid. Every once in a great while, we would go see a movie. And if we did go see a movie, it was at our dollar theater close by. So you would be seeing like The Lion King. I remember, like, I thought The Lion King just came out. That bad boy had been out for months. And then we finally got to see it at the dollar theater. Same thing with Toy Story. I don't think I saw a new released movie until I was a lot older. Maybe like 5th grade, 4th grade, something like that. My friend's parents wanted to go see the Titanic. And I went with my buddy and his parents. We went to go see the Titanic. That was such a long-ass movie as like a 5th or 4th grader in the theaters. I can't tell you how many times I had to get up to go take a piss. That was a lot. That movie's like 2 hours. And especially at that time, a movie over like an hour and a half, hour and 45, that was a really long movie. Now, it's like 2 hours in change you're expecting whenever you go to a theater. Got to wear it depends when you go in there. So that way you don't miss any of the action. I just think that movie theaters will be ending up as the next Redbox. But there are a lot of people that love going to the theaters to go see a movie. Especially live, or I shouldn't say live, but action movies. People want to see those on a big IMAX with a full surround sound. I don't like that. That stuff is way too freaking loud for me. I don't like my volume very loud on things. When I'm watching TV, my volume is really low. When I'm listening to music, I'm listening to podcasts, music is very low. Everyone always turns it up. My dad, in his car, he always has the music blaring in there. And I get in there, I'm like, hey man, you mind if I turn this down? That is super loud. So I don't like the over loud experience at a movie theater. I want to be in the comfort of my own home, sitting on my couch with a pair of sweatpants on, no underwear, and a sweatshirt, watching a movie with some popcorn. We have a cool, nice, old school popcorn maker in the basement. Got to put the oil, the popcorn seeds in there because I hate microwaved popcorn. It tastes so filmy. I don't know why. It just always has. I hate bagged popcorn that you got to throw in the microwave because, one, it tastes filmy. Two, if you ever hit the microwave, if you ever hit the popcorn button on a microwave, it's always burnt. It's like, how in the hell can we have all this technology, but we can't figure out the popcorn button on the microwave? It can't be right. Sometimes it burns it, sometimes it's undercooked, and you still have a whole bunch of kernels in there. That's why Nora and I got this. I think a friend got us the popcorn maker as a wedding gift, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember who it was. Nora will remember. She's good at remembering that sort of stuff. We haven't used it in forever. We should definitely use that. But you know what? Since we're talking about this, let's talk about the top 3 snacks at a movie. Okay? And this is candy, this is popcorn, this is your ices, this is all that stuff. The top 3 movie theater snack for me, Swedish fish. And I told you, I'm on a huge kick of those right now, but they're still at number 3 for me because it's just recent, okay? Whenever I went to the movie theater, I never got Swedish fish. I'll tell you what I got, and it finds its spot at number 2 on the movie theater snack list, and that is Sour Patch Kids. I freaking loved those things. There was nothing better than Sour Patch Kids. Now I can't eat them. It hurts my stomach. There's so many things that hurt my stomach now, but Sour Patch Kids really do it. That's why they're number 2. But the number 1 movie theater snack, definitely popcorn. I just saw someone on TikTok the other day. Went to the movie theater just to get popcorn. It's addicting. I don't think they actually put like popcorn salt on there. I think they sprinkle a little cocaine in there. That's what makes it so addicting. That's how you stay up for those 2-hour movies in the movie theaters too. And then there's all those hacks right now that are on TikTok of people using a straw so that way all the butter could get down to the bottom. I don't know if you've seen those. But someone will take their big bag of popcorn, put a straw down the middle of it, and then go to like the self-serve butter thing and line it all up. And the butter goes down the straw and goes down to the bottom. And then you could lift it up a little bit and voila. Everything is buttered for you. I don't like too much butter on the popcorn, though. I don't like too much salt, dude. I'm like Goldilocks over here when it comes to popcorn. It's got to be just right. Got to be just right for me. But I want all those experiences to be inside my house. On a streaming service. Not going to Kroger and going and get myself a Redbox movie. I think Kroger, CVS's, and Walgreens may be the only places now that you could go to get a Redbox movie. And speaking of grocery stores, I was talking to my buddy Taylor about this. We're talking about the right time to go to grocery stores, talking about grocery stores that we go to, if we shop sales. I mean, we were getting into the nitty gritty. Like, I felt with that conversation, I had reached peaked adulthood. You don't talk about grocery stores before the age of 25 with friends. You have a lot of other things that you're interested in. But once that 30-year-old age starts kicking in for you, 29, 30, 31, that range, life starts coming at you fast, and you start judging grocery stores. And we were reminiscing because I haven't been to a Jewel in so long. If you don't know what Jewel is, it's a grocery store in the suburbs of Chicago. Everyone goes to Jewel. I feel like an outsider actually saying Jewel because most everyone in the Chicagoland area says we got to go to the Jewels. Got to go to Jewels. We're going to get some groceries. Going to get the chicken from the deli counter. I tell you what, that's some underrated fried chicken. If you're ever in the Chicagoland area, if you live in the Chicagoland area, you already know that. And they have a nice little combo deal that you could get, but grocery store chicken in general is usually pretty good. The only place that looks like has bad grocery store fried chicken is Kroger. Every single time I go there, it looks like it's been sitting out for about 16 years. When you go to Jewel, there's always fresh chicken coming out. People always stopping through there and getting that chicken. Not only that, I always felt like there was some good sales that always happen at Jewel. And that's what my buddy Taylor and I were talking about. They always have good sales. I remember growing up as a kid, we used to get our soda there all the time because whether it be Coke or Pepsi, there was always a brand that had some sort of sale. The bottom of our shopping cart would be all soda because, man, we drank so much soda when I was a kid. Mostly just my brother Matt and me and my dad. We were like the only ones, but man, we would pound through those, especially in the summer. Who needs coffee in the morning? Who needs milk? Who needs juice when you can have a cherry Coke at 8 o'clock in the morning in the summer? That's what me and my brother did. I don't regret that. Cherry Coke. Years since I had one of those. But there was a little game that my brother Matt and I used to play at the grocery store, and I don't even see these things at the store anymore. Do you remember they used to be like red? They used to be attached to the shelves, and there would be little coupons. 50 cents off on macaroni and cheese. Peel that off. Go run to mom, be like, hey, can we get macaroni and cheese? I got a coupon here. It's 50% off. It would still be a no. But the game my brother Matt and I used to play at the store, we would try and see who could collect more. So we would be running all over the store, up and down the aisles, and you could not get the same coupon as the other person. If you did, it didn't count. So if you've ever been to Jewel, you know there is Jewel Osco. Osco is kind of like the pharmacy part of Jewel. So instead of trying to go down the same aisles that my brother would, I would always start out on the opposite end of the store. So if he started on the Osco side, I would go to the Jewel side. If he went to the Jewel side, I would go to the Osco side. That's how I would do it. And usually we would meet in the middle. Sometimes we would have the same, because I would go back through and be like, oh man, I wonder if he saw that red little coupon dispenser thing. I don't think they have those anymore. A lot of places put the coupons on the back of receipts. They're inside the grocery store apps now. There's a lot of paper that we were wasting back in the day. There's this crazy coupon girl on TikTok. I shouldn't call her crazy, but she'll always go on there and tell you all the deals that are going on at all the big retailers. And how much time she spends going through these different apps for stores so that way she could get the best deal. And I'm like, listen, I don't have that much time to go digging through all these coupons and all these different apps in order to save money. If I had more time, I would, because this girl saves a lot of money. I need that. I need to start saving money. With how expensive everything is at the store, man, what's your grocery store bill looking like these days? It's probably almost close to being double of about a year ago. And there's a lot of people who are like, oh, inflation, it sucks. You know, we're paying so much for gas. Yeah. You know what? To be honest with you, I think it's a lot of corporations taking advantage of this whole situation. I really do. I just think that they're like, well, you know, we have an excuse right now. Let's just say it's inflation. That's the reason why everything is so expensive right now. Like, no, motherfuckers, you're lining your pocket with a lot more money. You're sitting on stacks of cash while everyone else could barely afford to buy groceries. I feel bad when I hear some of my coworkers talk about how much money their grocery bill is. Like going to the store and to spend $300 on what used to cost them $200 for a grocery bill to go up that much. Ridiculous. Now, everybody here pretty much in Louisville will shop at Kroger. Nora and I shop at Aldi. We go there, Costco, Sam's Club. We like shopping at those places, but as far as like a local regional grocery store, it would be Kroger for us. Although Publix is coming to town. They broke ground on their first store in Louisville, and there's going to be 2 more locations. So I'm pretty excited because I've heard great things about Publix. I've been into a couple Publix, but I don't feel like I ever got the true experience there at that store because everyone talks about the pub subs there, and I've never had a pub sub. I didn't know about it. Now I feel like with it coming to Kentucky, I'm going to have to go get some pub subs as soon as they open up. I don't know how long it takes to build a grocery store, but the first time that Publix opens, I'm not going to do any other grocery shopping except get my fat ass a pub sub. Publix. Sounds like such a great store. If I remember right, they are pretty nice. I haven't been inside one since like my sophomore year of college because that's where we would... was it Publix or Winn-Dixie? I feel like Publix and Winn-Dixie are 2 big grocery stores down in Florida. I don't remember. It was one or the other. But I see pub subs all the time on TikTok, and it makes me want to just drive to a Publix. But I'll just wait around. Just like there's a ton of people from Louisville that are driving to Richmond, Kentucky to go to Buc-ee's. You're like, really? For a freaking gas station? It's so crazy to see how much people just like give in to all these big trends. And I'm like, you're overhyping some of this stuff. Like Chick-fil-A overhyped. A gas station food overhyped. Like it's not better than going to a real restaurant. Our expectations are so low. It's like Starbucks. Starbucks is overrated as hell too. But everyone loves it. Not everyone, because I don't. But I'm just saying, we're suckers. We fall into the trap that those companies want us to fall into. And whenever you go to a place like Starbucks, you go to any sort of takeout place, go to these small shops that have like the square register, you know what I'm talking about? It's like an iPad, and then they have the adapter on there, and you got a sign. It's like, do you want a tip? No, I don't want a tip. These people at Starbucks are making more money than waiters and waitresses, and they are the ones, the waiters and waitresses, that survive on tips. People that are working at Starbucks are making a full wage, so I don't like to tip there. Like, if I know someone isn't making the true wage, like, yes, I'm going to tip all the time. But I feel like tipping in America is just thought about like if someone provides a good service, you're going to tip them. And it's such a weird philosophy to even have, tipping. It's just like pay everybody what they're worth and we don't have to worry about it. Like I was at the golf course the other day, and there was a tip box for the cart people. I'm like, why? Why is there a tip box for the cart people? They make a full wage. It's not that like they make $2 an hour and the rest of it is tips. Like I know people that used to do that. It's like, you know, depending on where you live, and now it's a little bit more, but it's like a full minimum wage job. And for most of the time, those jobs are for kids in college, or they are for someone that's a little bit older that's just wanting a little spending money and play golf for free. So why do I need a tip there? I appreciate what they're doing, I guess, but I always clean out my car. I always clean out my cart, not my car. My car, sometimes. So I just find it weird on what we tip on. And whenever I get a receipt that has a tip on there, even though I know that person is making a decent wage, hourly wage, I'm not talking about the waiters and waitresses, okay? I feel bullied. I feel peer pressured that I have to tip on that. And I want that to stop. Because I feel obligated. If I don't put down like a couple of bucks, I feel bad. I'm like, why? Why is this happening to me? Why am I giving in to this tip line? Like I said, I don't mind tipping. But it's just like every single thing, it feels like needs a tip now. We could keep going without tipping anyone. I just want to pay people more. That's it. Pay people more so that way we don't have to tip. I'm tired of trying to figure out what 20 to 25% is when I go out to eat. Yes, I know it's basic math, but when I go out to eat, I don't want to do math. I want to enjoy my meal, not have to worry about 20% of $50. I don't want to do that. All right, coming up on Wednesday's edition of the Luke Kelly Show, my wife will stop by for another smut tale. She said already she has a good quote. She got a good quote early on in this new book that she's reading. She asked me the other day, she was like, do you want me to tell you it? And I said, no, save it for the podcast, woman. There's some things that you just have to wait for the natural reaction on. That being one of those. Because some of those quotes from the book, whoa, feel like I got to go to church afterwards. So I'll talk to you with Nora on Wednesday here on the Luke Kelly Show.